All right, Austin Weaver, thank you so much for coming on the CanMonkey Podcast show. It's
Thanks
been
for having me.
it's been a pleasure getting to know you over the last year or so. Ever since we met at the Favor, we just talked about it, the Favor last year. And you and I and Tommy and James, we just kicked it off, and it's been really good, great to know you ever since then. See what you do for your clients and see what you do in the industry. But I'm lucky to see you and know about you. But there's a lot of people that don't know about you or your company. So please go ahead, introduce yourself, and tell us what who you are and what you do in our vacation rental industry.
Definitely. Well, yeah, my name's Austin Weaver. Thanks for having me, Alex. I appreciate it. Knew we'd be friends right when I met you. I have to say that you're a welcoming guy, you're a smart guy, and you're fun. So appreciate the opportunity. Yeah, Austin Weaver, from Tucson, Arizona. Lived in Denver here for like 7 years now. Been in vacation rentals that long. Just got a job way back when with a little company called Evolve Vacation Rental, and didn't know what it would lead to. But now, about the last 3 years, I've been running. I'm their business development manager, and basically, I deal with clients all over the U.S. and Canada and try to make their job easier. Because, as we all know, being a property manager is hard, and we try to offer them something where they're actually going to get a good customer service, a good support, but also a pretty unique software that's cumbersome, but also pretty easy and intuitive to use. And yeah, that's what I've been doing the last 3 years. And calling people, trying to make relationships like we have, and gaining somebody's trust and then delivering on a promise is really what we're all about.
I love that. And so your company is primarily in Europe, right? And then you guys transitioned over here, and so your job is to help kind of facilitate the relationships here in America. Is that what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say a lot of people, didn't know the name of Avantio, or maybe they still don't. But we started off in Europe. The company's over 24 years old. We still have the same CEO and founder, Manuel, and he's great. But we're in 46 countries now. I think we have over 1,200 clients, something like 200,000 live listings connected across the world. And so our goal was really, hey, let's bring this over to the US. And they made the product US adapted. And really, they said, hey, just show people the product. Once they take a look at it, they're typically pretty surprised about what we have to offer, and really bringing that family spirit. Manuel made this back in the day when you pass out a CD and download it onto your computer, and he had family members that did it. And obviously it's changed a lot since then. We have 200 employees. We have offices in Spain, where it's from, Miami, a new one that just opened down in Puebla, Mexico, and then we have reps all the way around. So it's been a really fun journey. It's been a lot for me to learn on the software side and realize the tech stack that goes into some of these companies and how incredible it is. And so Avantio tries to be like all of them out there and all in one, but then partnering with great partners or referring people like you that really can take it the extra mile for something that we don't do. So Avantio takes that family approach, and that's why I like them. That's why I worked for them for so long.
I love it. So when you come from Evolve, a lot of those hosts and owners are maybe like onesie, twosie properties. And then so with Avantio, is that the kind of good fit for you? Or are you more of like property management companies with like 10 to 15 or even more than that? Like what's a good avatar of a property manager that, if they're looking for a change, who would be one that should be considering your company?
Yeah, so we work with professional property managers, so we're not really the best fit for somebody that might have one or two. But what we are good for is people that have 10 properties or more. We definitely have people that have less, and then we scale all the way up to, the enterprise level. I want to say our biggest one in our company is 7,000 doors. So really, it's for a professional property manager. Someone with one or two might not get the best use of it, but we have lots that join with six, seven, and their plan is to grow, and we help them grow. We don't really advertise Avantio a lot, not to toot our own horn, but basically we always say that we're in a real partnership with the property manager. And as they grow, so do we. So we listen to their feedback, we'll make changes, and we're always there. My boss and I, Sean, the new head of sales in the US, we were on a call for 2 hours last time. We were in Florida with my first client in Arizona many years ago now, just helping her with, to be honest with you, an unrelated PMS thing. But I think if you go the extra mile, and as we know it, a really small, tight-knit community, that's what stands out and can differentiate people. So just giving them that type of service.
And I think that's what's really great. I mean, we're kind of similar. A lot of our clients, will come on with three, four, five properties, and then they grow from there. So you're probably similar. As long as you take care of that client, that's like your best salesperson on your team because they're going to be giving you more properties as long as you take care of them. How when you are working with individuals or property managers that have these properties, how are you helping them connect the dots? Are they coming to you and saying, "I need help with this," or are you just kind of seeing the business and being in the industry for as long as you have, you can kind of pick up on some of these nuances and connect the dots for them?
Sure, it's multifaceted for sure. Sometimes we are gonna just connect dots and make even recommendations, and other times, well, every time it's learning their business. We do a really hands-on onboarding, and they have a team. So when somebody joins on with Avantio, they get a team that they know by name the whole way through. So that's from their onboarding specialist to channel management to the web project designer, and then on the back end, they actually even know their support team members. So you really get to know the person and the company that way, and then they also get an account manager. And the goal there is just to help them grow, right? And keeping somebody around is better for everybody. Everybody knows it's a pain to change PMSs. It's probably even a pain to change, the trash service that's going to go and take out your trash to the curb. So what are we doing here? It's software as a service. I saw it on LinkedIn. It seems like the service part, in my opinion, honestly, gets left out a lot. So that's something we really try to harp on. We try to learn the person, help them as best we can, and then let them know about new features or a partner or something where they can get more revenue if they're asking, if they're willing, and that's our goal, just to help them out and grow.
What is like a misconception that someone has about your company that maybe they're thinking of that they maybe had paused before they switch over to you guys, that once they switched over and made that change, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know why I haven't done it sooner. Like what's something like,
Yeah,
I think for me it'd be more like maybe you guys are, in Europe, the name sounds kind of, but like, you are, I only know you guys from America. So
yeah.
what's
No,
something like
definitely. So there'd be the name recognition thing. There's a lot of money obviously in our industry now, continues to grow. And so the name recognition can be hard, just being totally candid sometimes. Avanti what? Avanti what? So you deal with that. But then when people just see it, that's really my goal. Hey, take a look. Let me tell you about what I have to offer. We're not hard salesmen. Yes, we're out there pushing to get goals like everybody that is, in our industry. But the goal is, hey, see this. Let me talk to you about what we can offer you. And then you see 24 years of expertise, 85 of our 200 employees that are working on the back end to upgrade the system all the time. Channel connections that are top tier with all of the big three, Elite, Premier, Preferred, etc. When people see it in the US, without, I don't want to sound like pompous, but our conversion rate is really good. So it's just a name recognition thing. And we have had, there's no better feeling. I bet you can agree when someone's like, why didn't I do this earlier? Because it either solved me a problem or I like the way that you guys treat me. I can pick up the phone and talk to you, Alex, etc. I really can't harp on that enough. I think it goes a long way.
What's and obviously don't use any competitors' names, but what's something that you guys are able that separates you from other competition that with once someone's in your business, like what's something that that your company does really well that you're like, you know what, there's a lot of PMSs out there, but something that we do, you already said the customer service, so that's and obviously like I know you as well, like I would want to work with someone like you, I would want someone like you in my corner, so obviously that's like the non-negotiable. What's something else that like that you guys you're really proud of a PMS? Out of all the PMSs, you guys are like, you know what, we're really good at this one thing.
Yeah. So again, I won't bewilder the point, but definitely we harp on service at our side. But it's definitely our channel manager. When it comes to that, I want to say, and I apologize if I'm getting this wrong on podcast, but I'm 99% sure that we were Airbnb's first ever partner, definitely at least in the European side. And we just communicated with these different platforms like we all do now to make a seamless two-way API so that if somebody builds something out in Avantio, they can go ahead and push it over. They don't have to go log into a different channel. I think when people see the power of our channel manager, it's really good. We're maybe not perfectly unique in that. There's a lot of people who are great at that now, but our channel manager is amazing. We really don't have issues on that. And in fact, there's Verbo case studies about people switching from different people and getting a big increase on ours. There's quality dashboards within our system so that property managers can really just hone in on what they're doing. Yeah, we give you the ability to manage it, but you can see how am I actually performing on these key diagnostics to make my experience better for the traveler, which, as we know, is hopefully their main goal if they're doing what's right by their client. So
I love that. And so we're getting toward the end of this, and I mean it's a quick one, but if someone is like, you know what, I really like what Austin's saying. I'm in the process of, I'm at 8 properties now. I was looking for a new PMS because what I was using before is not serving me. How would someone find you, your company? How would they reach out to you? Like, how do they get to the next steps of, sitting down with you and asking you some questions on if it would be a good fit for them to switch?
absolutely. Obviously, we'd be open to anybody that wants to talk to us. You can go to Avantio.com. Again, my name's Austin Weaver, so it's A Weaver, Aweaver at Avantio.com. People can find me on LinkedIn as well there. But reach out to us, take a demo, just give the software a look. I always tell people it doesn't hurt to shop around, and I think a lot of people are getting better at that. But again, that overpromise, underdeliver thing is just not something we're about. I would tell you if you weren't a good fit for us, and I think that makes us stand apart. So come take a look at what we have to offer. I'd be happy to show you the ropes of Avantio, and I think you'd probably like what you see. That's what I'd tell them.
I agree with you. You are very transparent, and I feel like you would not want to waste anyone's time, and you'd be the first person to tell someone like, "Hey, as much as I would want to work with you, I think this would be a better fit." And I think that knowing you and getting to know you over the last year or so, that is something that is a great quality about you. So I think anyone would be lucky to work with you and have you in their corner. So, Austin, again, thank you for coming on the CanMonkey Podcast show. Thank you for showcasing your PMS, your company, and for those in the industry that maybe didn't even know that you guys exist, now they have something to look forward to or look at, and then see you at the next conference that you guys are all at. So, Austin,
Absolutely.
thank you again, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Alex, and thanks for being. I did want to shout you out just for being a great guy. Your company's awesome. You're honest. You deliver for the customer. So you've been a real joy to me, and that's what this is all about. Thanks.
I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah.